All right, Shalom. This is Brother Shamar from the Phoenix camp. With that being said, I want to give honor, glory, and praise to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BAHASHAM, QUADASH. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the brothers doing this work in truth and sincerity. I must get right into the scripture. This is Isaiah 48:10. It says, "Behold, I have refined thee." And that's the time that that's the process. That's the time that we're in right now. We're in the process of refining, man. We are in the process of elevating ourselves on a higher level in our conduct, in our lifestyle, in our manner of living, in the way we project ourselves towards others. We are in that process of refining, man, of being made perfect. And how are we getting refined? We're getting refined through this word, most first and foremost. We also get refined through correction, exhortation, and rebuke, man. We get refined. All these things are tools to edify the body, and the body and the others of Great Millstone and other brothers in other camps have been in the spirit of bringing out that attitude, that characteristic of ultimate self-improvement, man, of a new standard for us to follow, a higher standard, man. We're growing. The body's growing. The men in GMS, we are in a continual process of growth, a continual process of refinement. And the spirit right now is ultimate refinement, ultimate improvement in everything we do, in our conduct, in our speech, in our mannerisms, in the way we do everything, pretty much, man. The apostle elder Gabar, the apostle Tahar, they made you decrees of how we are to conduct ourselves towards other Israelites, man. So basically we're getting elevated, we're getting refined, we're getting brought to a higher level as a body. I'm gonna get that back again. It's Isaiah 48:10. It says, "Behold, I refine thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction." And that affliction can take many forms, man. Exhortation, rebuke, going through different trials and tribulations, learning. Sometimes we get our ass kicked, man. There'll be days where I get my ass kicked, but I gotta pick up and get myself back up and continue to do this work, man. Just like YAHAWAHSHI gave us the example, man. There was times in the scriptures where they show him in low estate, especially when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane. But what did YAHAWAHSHI do as an example to us? He prayed and he continued on, man. He continued on to receive the affliction, to receive the things that he has to receive according to prophecy, man, according to the will of YAHAWAHSHI. And we are in that time of refining, man. "Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction." So that's what it is, man. We are in that time of refining, man. For that, I'm going to Zechariah 13:9. This is Zechariah 13:9, and it says, "And I will bring the third part," that's talking about the 1/3, "through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined." So how is silver refined, man? "And I will try them as gold is tried." And how is silver and gold refined? For that, I'm gonna jump real quick to Sirach 2 and 5. And this tells you right here, this is Sirach 2 and 5. It says, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." So through all this, through affliction, through trial and tribulation, through exhortation, correction, and rebuke, that's how we get refined, man. That's how we grow. That's how we get hardened to become acceptable men. I'm going to go back to Zechariah 13:9. This is Zechariah 13:9. It says, "I will bring the third part through the fire, and refine them as gold is gold. So like I will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them." Let's get that word "try" right there. Test. "I will test them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them, and I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Most High is my power," man. So the men of the Lord are going to be refined. They're going to be brought to different levels as we grow as a body, man. And that's the time that we're in right now. Jacob's trouble is about to hit, so we have to elevate. We have to get a stronger mentality for the things that we are about to go through, man. For the things that are coming upon this earth, man. And first and foremost, it starts with this word. Instead, I want to get Malachi 3:3. This is Malachi 3:3, and it says and he shall set as a refiner and a purifier of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi. And right now, who were the sons of Levi? The sons of Levi were priests, man. And purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer to the Lord an offering in righteousness. And right now, we are those priests, man. If you go to 1 Peter 2:9, it tells you that Most High, if we are the elect men, Most High willing, it tells you that we are those priests. And I'm gonna get that real quick. 1 Peter 2:9. This is 1 Peter 2:9. It says, "But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood." So we are that priestly people upon the earth right now, because we are out on the highways and hedges prophesying the word of the Most High. And holy nation, a set apart people. Another word for holy nation is a set apart people, because holy means separate and nation means people. So this is what they're talking about, the men doing this work in this day and age, a chosen generation. Men that have been chosen, or called. We know they've been called. Most likely, we've been chosen, a generation that's been chosen to preach His word, a royal priesthood. Talking about what was the office of the priest? To bring out the law. A holy nation. The word for holy nation is a separate people. So the Lord has separated the people in this day and age to go out there and do this work, man. And that's what GMS is all about. And other camps that have the same doctrine, a peculiar people, because people look at us like we're strange, man. People look at us and our lifestyle and the things that we do and how we occupy our time and the things that we partake in and don't partake in as peculiar, man. They look at you crazy because you tell them you don't eat pork. They look at you crazy because you tell them you don't celebrate holidays, man. They look at you crazy because you abstain from certain things of this world, man. That ye should show forth the praises of Him who has called you out of darkness into His marvelous light, man. So going back to Malachi 3:3, that those sons of Levi, those priestly people are going to get refined, man. And that's the process that we are in right now. This is Malachi 3:3, and he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, talking about the Most High. He shall purify the sons of Levi, those priestly people, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer to the Lord an offering in righteousness. So that's what it is, man. We are in that time of refinement, man. With that, I want to get Tobit 4:14. And this goes into the word conversation, and we all know, or if you don't know, the word conversation essentially means conduct. It's not talking about having a conversation or speech, because we've got to remember that a lot of definition of words have been changed. That's why the apostles and elders always tell us how important it is to get into definitions of words as you read the scriptures. I'm going to read Tobit 4:14. It says, "Let not the wages of any man which has wrought for thee tarry with thee, but give him it out of hand. For if thou serve Yahawah," this is the point I'm trying to make, this latter part. "For if thou serve Yahawah, he will also repay thee. Be circumspect, my son, in all things." This is the point of the scripture that I'm trying to get right here. Be circumspect, my son, in all things. So that's talking about having your wits about you, man. Having your house in order, man. Having your things in order, your life in order. In all things, and be circumspect, my son, in all things. So that's talking about everything that you're about, man. Your whole lifestyle, man. You got to be on a different level, on a higher caliber, man, than the 2/3 and he's in around you, walking uprightly. Be circumspect, my son, in all things thou doest, and be wise in all thy conversation. And that word conversation means conduct. And be wise in all thy conversation, man. So that's what it is, man. That's the time where it is. We have to elevate our conduct. We have to elevate our conversation in all things, man. I'm going to read that back again. Be circumspect, my son, in all things thou doest. So everything that we put our hand to, man, we prioritize His work, and that should make you a better man through refinement, man, through going through the things that you go through. It's all for the edification of the elect. And with that, I want to get 1 Maccabees 4:42. This is 1 Maccabees, Salakia. 4 and 42. It goes into that word conversation. It says, I'll start at verse 41. It says, then Judas appointed certain men. And we know Judas Maccabees, he was a great warrior, a great Israelite warrior, man. Then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortress until he had cleansed the sanctuary. So he shows priests a blameless conversation, a blameless conduct, man, such as had pleasure in the law. So that's the mentality. That's what we should be likened to be like, man. A blameless conversation, a blameless conduct, such as had pleasure in the law. And a man of the Lord, a man that's called to do this work, a man in GMS, he should have pleasure in the law, basically pleasure in this word. This word should be your delight, man. You should delight yourself in the word of the law. Going back to Psalms, the 1st chapter. You know, I'm going to get that real quick. That's talking about an upright man. This is Psalms 1 and 1. This psalm is talking about an upright man. It says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. His law does he meditate day and night. So an upright man, a blessed man, a man of good conversation, a man of good conduct, is going to delight in the law of the Lord. It's going to meditate on the law of the Lord, the word of the Most High, day and night, man. It's going to consume his life, in other words. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters, and bringeth forth his fruit in his season. Leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever you do it shall prosper. So he's gonna make moves so that he prospers in his way. And those moves are gonna be based on the scriptures. Those moves are gonna be based on the wisdom that he has learned and the trials and tribulation that he has gone through in his truth. The ungodly are not so, but like chaff which the wind drives away. So so that's the ungodly. That's the 2/3. That's the heathen. You know, you see these 2/3 and you heathen, and their life is all jacked up, man. You know, they still have the mentality of children, most of them. You know, and we're like I said, we're in a time of refinement. We're in a time of elevation, man. We're in a time of perfection, of growth, of hiring our standards, and those men that are not willing to meet those standards, or not willing to elevate themselves, then that means that you stop growing, man. And that's the thing about the truth. You gotta constantly start growing. You know, that means you be lukewarm. You know, so you gotta constantly strive to perfect yourself, man, to improve yourself. And the way that we do that is through this word. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous. And the way of the righteous is what? Is doing this work and being the best that you can be in the things that you do. But the way of the ungodly shall perish, man. So we are in that time of refinement, man. You know, if you put the word conversation in a search, then all kinds of scriptures come up, man. You know, relating to that. And when you read that conversation, you know, let's keep in mind too that word conversation means it means conduct or behavior. You know, so you can go through, and there's many scriptures that talk about that. You know, example Ephesians 4:22, that you put off the concerning the former conduct, the old man was corrupt according to deceitful lust. Only let your I'm just gonna substitute the word conduct for the word conversation. So, you know, so you can know what I'm trying to get at. Only let your conduct, Philippians 1:2-7, only let your conduct be as becometh the gospel of YAHWAHSHI, that whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear of your affairs, that you stand fast in one spirit, with one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel, man. So, hey, that's what it is, man. You know, that's what it is. Elevate yourself to a new standard, man. You know, we're called to do this work, and we're called to grow in it also, man. With that being said, it's a real quick lesson here at the plantation. Most High willing, I hope it was edifying. With that, I want to say Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah YAHWAHSHI, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah YAHWAHSHI, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah YAHWAHSHI. Shalom.